Namaste everyone, this is Nilab. Welcome back at a new YouTube video, and today we're going to talk about Pax Silica. So we'll talk about the recent development that the United States Ambassador to India, Mr. Sergio Gor, has announced on 12th of January that next month, which is in February, India will be invited to join the alliance. What does this alliance means? Why was it formed? Who are the members? What is it in it for India? And how is India is going to contribute to this alliance, and why India has been invited to this alliance. This is very interesting thing. So Pax Silica, as the name itself sound, it's something related to semiconductor. So during formation of this alliance, it was mentioned that last century the fuel was mostly oil and steel, but this century it will be compute. It will be the compute infrastructure. So countries such as United States, Netherlands, Israel, Singapore, Australia, New Zealand, United Kingdom. I might be missing few because Qatar has also joined recently. So all these countries, they have coming together to form a reliable supply chain infrastructure for materials, raw materials, and materials which will be required to make these kind of stuff, these kind of equipments for AI infrastructure. So AI is at the forefront. AI is the word which have been used in the article a lot of times. And when the alliance was formed last month in December, I read so many articles talking why India is not invited in this alliance, and they were mostly about India's lack in reliable supply chain infrastructure, India's lack in regulations, and India's proximity to non-Western allies and all these things. But this week, India has been invited. Now, according to me, when I read those things last month, I was surprised, but it was mostly because it was so initially, whenever there's alliance, this new kind of alliance, it would be mostly the United States, its ACAUS or Australia, UK, US, Canada, New Zealand allies. You might see Taiwan because of TSMC. You might see South Korea, Japan, Singapore, and Israel and some of its European partners. This is the case for very long. Countries such as Malaysia, India, they are neutral countries. Malaysia is not something which is pro Russia, pro China, or pro US. They fight for their own. Same is the case for a lot of southeastern nations. In South Asia, yeah, India is the one which really fights for it. So I would say India. But yeah, I mean, yeah, there are countries which also fights for themselves. But you see, all these countries, they are invited. That is what a Western alliance means in the today's geopolitical world order. So I wasn't surprised that India wasn't invited because India have the infrastructure, India have the workforce, India has the manpower, India has all these things which is required for a reliable, sustainable, and very efficient supply chain manufacturing infrastructure. There are issues, but they can be fixed with regulations. And we are working actively in AI summit and all these things. We are working with France because I think France has a G7 presidency, and we have the India have BRICS presidency this year. And whenever Prime Minister Modi and President Macron is meeting, they're always mentioning these things time and again. So my point is, this is not about India's reliable infrastructure or India's involvement in semiconductor market or supply chain. It's more about appeasing India. So what I think is that it's mostly about that India. We have seen in recent times that the current U.S. administration has doing these things time and again, trying to push back, pull back. So this is some kind of pullback, which is basically pulling India back towards the Western alliance, I would say. I'm still not sure. I can't say that for certain, but I would say that this is some kind of thing that United States is offering India, basically to invite India in this alliance and to try to amends things which has happened in the past. And this has been directly announced by the United States ambassador in India in Delhi. And this, so today, on 12th, I think this video will be uploaded tomorrow. So on 13th of January, the Undersecretary for Economic Affairs and Commerce, yeah, that is the statement. That person, he also reposted the ambassador's tweet on X, talking the same. And then he also mentioned that, okay, these things, and India is a reliable partner. We expect these things, blah, 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 which is very interesting because now it's going to be very interesting to see that how this turns out, what are the things that India will be promised and what India has to do in this whole infrastructure. And this is going to be very interesting because India has the workforce, India has the manpower, and it's a promising alliance. It looks very promising. Its main goal is to take the whole AI infrastructure more towards the liberalized side, like the Western side, trying to isolate China or a few other countries. Let's see what happens. It's going to be very interesting. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments what do you think about this. And yeah, this is Nila Pandey signing off.